Ta-da! Hello, I am Emma from Emma's Happy Place Arts and Crafts. I did have the other live going, but I've had to restart it because I don't know what I did to it when I set it up. I'm really, really bad at technology, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So I'm just going to hang about for people to come back in. It just takes a couple of minutes to click over everything, and we are going to cast real flowers into eco resin or plaster forever. They are 3D, they are lovely. A lovely lady called Cheryl showed me how to do this a few years back, and I've seen so many other people do it since. It's a really easy process. They're great for gifts, they're great for indoor, outdoor deco. And hi, Kim. So we'll get started. I'm just going to get people a chance to catch up. In fact, what I'll do is I'll share this, excuse me, hiccups, into Facebook now, and then we can start a play. If you can receive a link again for the third time, don't panic, it's just me being stupid. Because I can't just do it normal way. That would be far too easy. I am still here. Hang on, it's all catching up on itself. I am still here, I promise, I promise. Everybody's getting about 25 links tonight. The first one was a complete, I don't even know how I did that one. The second one was supposed to be the right one. Hi, Dominique. Hi, Val. Hi again. Me. I will call you me forever. I will. I called Kim Michael forever and a day. So just to be awkward, I think, wasn't it, Kim? Right, so bear with. New link. Right, hopefully people will see this and then we can get started. If not, people can come back and watch it later. It isn't a problem. It's on forever. So this is what we're going to do. So I have got some real plants. I've also got some fake plants. I've got one here that is drying, so I can show you actually one unmolded, because no one's going to want to sit for half an hour or longer and wait for it to set. So this is finished ones. This is lavender and other bits of flowers, and these ones here were fake flowers. I much prefer the real ones, but we'll see how we get on. So to start off with, I'm going to use a air dry clay, and I try not to use the DAS actually. I try and use even a cheap one. But you can reuse it. But what you need to do is make sure that doesn't dry. Thankfully, the plaster doesn't take long to actually set. So you can get it off and keep this clay in a bag, and it will stay wet for the next time round. It probably will end up with bits of plaster in it, so I doubt it'll be much use for like making anything out of. Hopefully people will find it. I have shared it to Facebook as many places as I think of. There'll be people looking for us, honestly. If they start watching the other one, they will come find, hopefully. If not, it's on forever. So for these ones, we don't need much. I did say I had embroidery hoops. I don't think they are. I got them for the website and then never actually finished off anything with them. I've got bigger ones and smaller ones. The bigger ones have vanished into thin air. I had them like 45 minutes ago and they've gone. So we're going to make some smaller ones. I did think about making Christmas ones, but I don't think this is going to be much good for doing it, but we'll see. So all I've done is I'm kneading the clay, and this is the DAS clay. If you can get the firing clay, which doesn't set out, even plasticine would work, like a soft plasticine, that would work. And then rolling pin or spray paint can, and then we just need it about that big, I would say. So it's just slightly bigger than the ring for now. And then what I have got is plants out of my garden. I say garden, out of the little bit that I've got. So I've got some sweet peas. I thought this might be quite nice. And I thought these can go all year round in a kitchen or wherever you want them to go. So I was thinking we're just going to build it up. I've got a curry plant. and lavender as well. Where's my lavender gone? Because that might be quite nice. Where did the lavender go? There it is. This is a curry plant, this one, so it smells like chip shop curry. And have the lavender there. And then some lavender stalks. Now these ones aren't very big, so they're not going to take up a lot. Like, you're not going to need a lot of plants to get a good result. You can make them massive. You can also make them free form like I did with these. But it's nicer, I think. It's nicer to have a ring around them, especially if they're for gifts and things like that. So all I've done is go back over with the rolling pin or spray paint can, and then we take it all out. Any bits of like grassy bits and things that are stuck in the plant, so if you use something with seeds, you really need to get them out or they're going to be stuck in forever. But what you can do as well, say you've got that bit there, is you can just go back over it again and just sort of push in the flower. If you've got quite a robust one, you can push it in and fill up any spaces that you don't want empty. But then again, go back over and get the bits out and just try and be as gentle as possible. It's super easy and super duper duper effective. So then you can pick and choose where you want your ring to go. And I'm not pushing the ring all the way in. This is more, the plaster will stick to the ring, but we don't want it to seep out the side. So you don't want to push it all the way in. We're creating a seal. And this should have been on here so I can move it. That was the reason I got them. We'll put that back. And then all I'm going to do is sort of go around the edge and create a seal. So I've pushed it in a little bit. Am I making sense? Sorry. A little bit. Oh, you're poorly again. You're not having a very good time. Was it the same thing, just not getting better? I'm ever so sorry. There we go. So that's in and it's all sealed. And then what I've got is eco resin or plaster. You can use whatever you want. Mine are in different tubs because, well, we all know how messy I am. And basically it's usually a 3-to-1 ratio. So 3 lots of plaster to 1 lot of liquid. But obviously read the instructions on whatever you've got. I go up, up. That's it. That's what I do. And then I go by consistency mostly. And then the plaster. So I've got that much liquid. I go by consistency because I mix this stuff all the time. If I had too much plaster, I just add a bit more liquid and vice versa. See, that's too much plaster in there and it's gone bitty. Just add a bit more liquid. A little bit at a time. And you won't need a lot for this at all. And I would say, to be honest, we want it more on the, like, that's a bit too thick. It's got to go into all these. It's like creating your own mold, basically. But a little bit goes a long way. I mean, that's a tiny, tiny little amount. I mean, I don't suppose it would hurt adding a little bit of water either. If you're using plaster of Paris, if you mix PVA glue in with your water, you get an even stronger plaster. But this goes, the eco resins, the likes of Resin-Crete, Jesmonite, other companies do it as well. So that is it. I would say that's perfect. And then all we're going to do is, I want to tip it from a little way away so that it gets in all the bits. And make sure you're scooping it all out. Honestly, it couldn't be easier, this. It is a bit messy, but it's awesome. What I normally do is, if I want to hang them up, I will add something before it's finished setting. I usually add a paper clip or a bit of wire that I've bent, which I will show you as well. But what I will have to demold these before Tuesday, so for the painting. So what I've done is I've done one that is ready to pull out when we're finished playing here. and then I can show you. But you've got to let them sort of dry for, I would say, a good 24, 48 hours before you start painting them and things, just to make sure that they're completely cured. And then I've got mine on a bit of acetate, but you can do yours on a silicone mat or anything, just to make sure that all stays in. And then for the wire, I've got this kind of wire. It's just like construction jewelry wire. It's, I don't think I would make jewelry with it. It's very, very flimsy. It cuts really, really easy. And then all I would do is sort of twist it round. You don't want to kind of put it in yet, really, and then make some tails on it. So it's, when it goes in, it's going to be like really stuck in. So just like creating, you know how your nails have got your screws have got the bit that goes around? And it's super easy. It's super fun. Is that plaster of Paris? No, this isn't plaster of Paris. This is an eco resin. I can't remember which one it is because mine's now in a tub. I think it's Jesmonite because I've got the 2 parts. But Jesmonite, you've got the Let's Resin do one, J. Dixon do one. You can use plaster of Paris, so I would just use a plaster with a PVA glue. See, and that's empty, that one now. So you can recycle the cups. I'm using paper ones, so it's probably not the best idea. Like clean them out and do it again, but obviously I'm using paper. Let's do another one. Should we do a freeform one in case you haven't got the like any of the embroidery ring things? So for freeform, all I do is the same as I roll the resin out with a tin of paint or a rolling pin. I couldn't find a rolling pin. Oh, that's as much as I'm doing it, because I'm not going to use all the clay up. I don't usually use a Daz clay because it's, I mean, it's like £5 it's the more expensive one. I would use the cheapest of cheap that you've got, a plasticine or something that's sat there for a while. You can reuse it. It's not a waste. You can actually reuse it. But I would always say, if you make things out of the clay, then I would just buy the cheapest stuff. Cheapest stuff you can get. So this time I think we'll have a bit of curry plant in there. I have got these. These are 4 berries. Like I say, you can use 4 plants as well, but this here is a lemon Bermuda, I think it's called. Actually, we'll just do them too. It smells absolutely gorgeous. You can't eat them, and the curry plant's more of a garnish as well. But, and I'm not going over really hard. You've just got to push it in. But I'm getting some lovely smells. There we go. And then, if you want to add berries to it or anything, you can just sort of push them in a little bit. I don't think I'm going to like the berries. I think I'm going to wish I didn't do this, but we'll go with it. It might be good. Right, so free form. I'm going to put on another bit of acetate so I can move it. So this is easy. This can be done any size. Did everybody get that? Hi, Kelly. Oh, no, not work. And then free form, all I do is sort of scrunch the edges up so no plaster or eco resin or whatever you're using can escape. And now your edge will be more organic, like these ones that I've done. These were freeform. I quite like them, especially for outside. And this one's a freeform one, kind of. I did use a bit of I think I used a pop bottle actually, and like put it in, pushed it in, and then, so it was still kind of freeform, but not. So this is all I'm doing with this one. Pushing it in and round. Now, if you seal these afterwards, it can be waterproof, it can go outside and everything. They're awesome. A new cup. I'm going to cut the cup down because it's too big. And again, I'm just using card, like paper cups. But use whatever you want. Use plastic, and then you can just, once it's dry, crush it all out. Oh, I'm just going to add about that much liquid. Measure yours out though. I haven't got the scales in here, and we're just, I know the consistency I like now. So, like I say, that's still slightly too thick, and I think I might need a smidge more. So I'm going to add a little bit more liquid. And then that. And then I'm going to add another scoop of plaster. And then if it gets too thick again, I'll add a bit more liquid, and that should be enough. But again, measure yours out, go by the instructions, and then as you use it, you'll get to know the consistency that you want. And then if I do have any left over, I've always got a mould next to us that I can pop stuff into if I want to. Yeah, I think that might be enough now. So nothing goes to waste, because by the time, if you made a few of these, you could mix up the, if you've got plenty of clay, if you make a few of these, you could quite easily just make the plaster and do it that way. But we are doing it as we go, so I'm just going to add one more drop of the liquid. Like I say, if you use PVA glue, if you use plaster of Paris, use a PVA glue in with the water, and it takes a little bit longer to set, but tiny bit more plaster. This is why you should measure it, and then you don't end up with loads left over or the wrong. Constantly doing this for a while. So mix PVA glue in with your plaster of Paris, and you get a much harder finish. Right, so from up high again. I don't worry too much if it doesn't seem like enough, because you can always add more on top before it sets. Just pushing it in, and scrape your cup with an inch of its life. Waste nothing with this stuff, because it's expensive. See, there's still loads in my cup. Waste nothing. Let's see, it is expensive. I do love it, but I refuse to waste it. Everything goes into a mould. Everything gets used. Just keep scraping it out. And like I say, I have got mine on acetate just so I can move it. Normally I would work in the kitchen on a bigger space, and then I would just have them set up. But when you do this, if you're working on a silicone mat or a separate mat, what you can do is sort of tap them, and this is what you get. Right, I've run out of acetate. Oh no, I've got a little bit left. I might be able to make another one. We'll try another one, because we'll watercolour them on Tuesday. Now I need to move these. I'll be 2 seconds. I just need to move this to a different space, because I'm working back in my square, my 10-inch square. Right, I'll be able to do another one, and then we can actually, I'll see if I can unmold this one and use this. Right, so this one I made about an hour ago now, so I want it to stay in this ring, and all I want to do is pull it round, and then this bit should come off. There, it's coming. Are you ready for it? And this has got me sweet pea. Look at that. Now I didn't do much on this one. I want to see how it turned out. I'm just going to eat and wash it afterwards to get any more clay off. I'll scrape it off. So that is, can we see it? Kind of what we're going to get. And it has come out the side a bit, but that will all come off, and you can sand over the top of the edge. And because in here where I've pushed it into the clay, there's no reason why, if you wanted to, you couldn't resin it as well. This one hasn't got a clip in the top, and neither's the other one, so we can hang it. This one here, look at that. Look at what you get. You're basically making your own molds out of plant. And it doesn't cost that much because all you really need is the clay and the plaster. Plaster of Paris is always a good one to try it with if you haven't got. It's really, really nice. And obviously when we paint them, I watercolour them. This is what you get. But obviously you can just go over with like a sepia. You don't have to add full colour. This one's just got the purple and the green. The purpley pink and the green. So you can do all sorts with them. But if you think about it, if you get hot, like different types of the year, times of the year. It was raining today, so I just got what was in my little bit of garden. And I'll mix it back in. I'll just make sure that you're constantly sort of kneading your clay back. And it will end up with lumps in, but it's still absolutely usable. Pop it onto here. Again, non-rolling pin over the top. And keep all the clay that you use to do this, keep in a bag, sealed bag, and then in a tub or whatever, and then you can use it again, because you never ever want it to dry out on the actual mold. So I'll do another one with a ring. I think that'll be big enough. I do have some plastic pine cones, which actually, let's see, I'm going to go in with the sweet peas again because I love it. I mean, sweet peas are still growing. It's going to be a yellow one. So I'm going to move it down like that. I'm going to put them where they land and let the sort of decide themselves. We're going to have this lavender in, and I'm going to jam pack this one full. And then what I'll do is I'm going to get this bit of lavender and put it over the top of there. We'll move that. I'm not doing that. I much prefer the real plants with them. And then, do I have another bit of sweet? I do have another bit of these floppy sweet peas. We'll have that there. And then I'm going to go over it again. You don't have to push on dead hard. Because remember, your clay is not unlimitedly thick. But we do want a nice, in the middle of it where the thingy's going to go, we do want a nice bit of everything shown. There we go. And there's not much greenery left over on that one. If you use poppies and flowers and things and they've got absolutely loads of seeds in, pick them all out with the tweezers like I showed you at the start. I'm just going to push that in to stop any escapey plaster. And then on Tuesday what we'll do is we'll watercolour them or paint them or just add a wash to them to make them nice and vintage. So we'll do this one. I think this one will probably be the best one with the most flowers in. I think it always turn out better when you've got the most. So that one that I've just showed you, this one here, will need to dry for say 24, 48 hours. I've got a line here. I don't know how, but this one was a trial one. We'll go with that. And I'm going to cut my cup in half, or 3/4. That's a bit more than half, Emma. And again, it's about 3 to 1 mix every time you. Most of them are, but I tend to go a little bit thinner. All right. Oh, that's way too much. I'm going to put some of that back in. Way too much. It's so easy as well. I mean, I make everything look messy. Everything. Honestly. No matter what I'm doing, I make it look messy. I could be just using paper and I can make it look messy. We all know that. As soon as there's a little bit glue involved, that is it. So again, like I say, the lady called Cheryl who showed me this, she's so good. She's brilliant at resin. She's brilliant at this. I need to ring her actually. It's been ages since I spoke to her. I feel quite bad. See, I've mixed far too much. This is going to go in a mould as well. I do have a chicken mould after the side here, which I'm filling up as I go. Oh, now have I gone too far the other way? Oh, no, that'll do. That'll do. Might not have enough left over for the chicken mould. I'll find another one, though. It won't go to waste. Because this will be the last one that we're doing for tonight. Because there's not much more I can do until it sets. I did unmold that one for you. Unmold, take it off the clay just to show you, because I won't be able to do this. I won't be able to leave it till Tuesday. The clay will dry and it'll just be a mess. We'll never get them apart. So I would say as soon as whatever your setting time is in the instructions of whatever you're using, unmold it. Not much longer after that, because if it sticks, it stays for good. Actually, I may fill this one right up to the top. That's not too bad. There's a little bit. What I might do is on the back of here, where I put that, I'm going to go over with just a bit more. Now it is the back, it won't make much difference. I can always sand it if it's a problem and it's a mess. I won't. I know I won't. It's the back. I'm not bothered. As long as it doesn't look too bad, I'm not going to cry about it. So what I'm going to do is, so if you're working on a mat or a board or anything, it is a lot better. Oh, it's going to go over the top. Oh, no, it's coming out the sides, Emma. So giving it a wiggle rather than a shake is probably the best idea. If you do need to move it over, just stick it in another mould. Oh, Emma. What a mess. Hang on, we'll tap this one out a bit. Now, nobody ever said I make anything look easy. That's one thing. Yeah, a bit more. There we are. We're tightening the back of this one up as well. Look at that. I meant to do that completely. I knew this would happen. There we go. Look at that. And always sand it down if we've got any raised areas. But I did want to make sure that that hangy loop there was stuck right in. Nothing to do with us trying just to make it fit. Oh, then I can give it a wiggle. Give this one a wiggle. It's staying in now. There we go. So I've got 3 ready for Tuesday that will be unmolded next time you see them. Super easy. I can't remember which way up was on this one now because I've spun it round that much. I'll not be able to see underneath either because the clay is not clear, is it? Shall we just leave it? This one to be a flat one. I'm not going to do anything else. With that, this is it for tonight. Part 2, to see the results of them, will be Tuesday because there's no, I mean, unless you want to sit for half an hour. But I can show you the chicken that I made off the first one. Hopefully it comes out. I love this chicken so much. I made some out of resin. There we go. Look, they just stand up. There's 3 different sizes. How cute are they? You just colour the heart in. So, yes. So this is what I was going to fill up as we went. But I only got one out of them, which I'm not going to cry about. There we go. So that is it. Super easy. So sorry about the start of the live with us all being all the piggledy pot. We can always guarantee that it will do. So yes, thank you for keeping me company, and I will see you Tuesday to see these finished and we will colour them in. Tuesday I will be live at 7 p.m. If you're new here and you've made it to the end without wanting to kill us, because I'm so messy and etc., then do subscribe. Give us a thumbs up as well because it's nice and it pushes us out on YouTube a bit. And I will see you all on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Have a lovely Monday. I hope it is not an awful Monday. And I hope the sun shines. Have a lovely Sunday evening. Bye for now. Thank you.